What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel.
We had gone months with our car sharing fleet without any damage, any issues, any accidents. We were on a pretty hot streak, but it seems as though that streak has been broken. So this involves our 2015 Hyundai Elantra GT, which is our only get-around car. And yesterday I got a text from the renter asking me if I had an insurance card for the vehicle because it was in an accident. She didn't give me any details about the car. She just said that she was so sorry, and that was basically all she said. Then a little bit later, I got an email from Getaround letting me know that the car was in an accident. It was in fact drivable, and late last night we got the notification that the car had been returned.
Now, we haven't seen the vehicle, but we're about to go inspect the damage. Well, the closer you get, the worse it gets. Ooh. Ah, that is broken.
It is in fact broken.
Well, looking at it, it's surprisingly, it's gonna sound weird to say, not as bad as you'd think it would be. It kind of looks like it definitely is more cosmetic, and this fender that's definitely really jammed in there too. It's definitely gonna need a headlight. And this is the thing that would have been bad if it really hit. See that little yellow connector down there? That's a crash sensor. So pretty much once that gets hit or impacted right there, you can tell it's the crash sensor. It's got a yellow safety plug. Once that gets impacted, airbags start going off, and that's when it's really bad. So I think it definitely saved the car from maybe being totaled, but this is a lot of damage. So on the bright side, it kind of looks like the hood wasn't touched. And I don't know if she sideswiped somebody, but the only thing mechanically that I think could be wrong with this, aside from maybe some split wiring down here and maybe this horn harness and whatever else that is the wheel. If the wheel got impacted and it pushed some of that suspension back, that could be some serious alignment issues. But other than that, I think if we're lucky, we may be able to get away with a fender, some fender liners, the bumper support, a front bumper cover, a headlight. It's gonna be a good amount of money spent though. On the bright side, makes changing these turn signal bulbs a lot easier. Nice. All right, so now Aubrey has to take this car home.
I'm not taking it home.
Dang it! Well, now it's time to document the damage. Well, now that we got all the photos taken of the damage, time to send these to Getaround's claim department and then just wait and see what they have to say.
So HP and I are on our way to a junkyard to go pick up some of the parts that we need in order to fix the Hyundai Elantra GT.
So unfortunately, every Hyundai Elantra GT that's ever been wrecked for some reason has had a front impact collision, which means I can't find a used bumper to save my life. But it's okay because I do have a fender and a radiator core support, which is what we need for our Hyundai Elantra on this already black Hyundai Elantra GT that's pretty local. So fingers crossed, hopefully it's in good shape. Import Auto Salvage, where you want to salvage imports, not domestic. Hello.
I don't think we will have, it might have, other one, but some of them, they're not fitting, to each other, so they change them,
You didn't see me. So let's see what we got. So we got a fender and a fender liner, which is exactly what we needed because the previous renter kept driving with this broken one and has worn it pretty significantly. So we got the fender all taken care of. Unfortunately, the driver's side headlight was just as busted up as ours, and the radiator core support on that car in the junkyard was also broken. So we're gonna have to look at other places for that and look at for another headlight and bumper.
Doing some research on some different headlights that we found on eBay, like this listing here, which is probably the one we're gonna go with. And then we also are doing some research on the front bumper, trying to figure out whether we wanna go with a cheaper non-painted version that HP can paint, or buy one that's more expensive that comes pre-painted. And we're probably gonna be going with this eBay listing for that as well. So that will put us at about $500 all in.
So while we wait for those parts to come in, I'm gonna start disassembling all the broken pieces and see what can be salvaged and what can't be salvaged, and see if there's any small tidbits like light bulbs or clips that I'll need.
So a few days have passed since HP and I went to the junkyard. We were actually able to get everything that we needed ordered in order to get this car fixed and back on the road, and we got a solid deal on a bumper that came really fast, but the packaging is a bit unexpected.
So as you can see, the bumper is tightly packed inside this packaging, and it was painted, and they did have a disclaimer that they have premium shipping for an extra like $200 or something like that, or you get this for the shipping that we got, which was free. And it even states on this thing, it says, you may be wondering why you have this bumper fit in this package. There are a few things you need to know. And then it goes on to pretty much tell you it'd be a lot of money to ship it in a normal full expanded area versus this tiny box. So let's open it. Oh, it smells like paint. You want to open this outside?
Yeah, probably a good idea.
And I hope it's good or bad. Wow, it doesn't look bad. Look at that bad boy. It's upside down, but
Looks actually really good.
good, not great. I mean, there's definitely some trash in the paint, but I mean, a lot better than I could do with a rattle can, that's for sure. Okay, so we're gonna leave it like that in a little bit, and we'll see how it unfolds a little bit. Hopefully the sun will kind of expand that plastic.
But I mean, all in all, it looks actually really good. Like the paint quality is surprisingly good. What do you think?
I think it's actually pretty good. I mean, it definitely isn't the best. My dad would never let it leave his shop like that, but yeah, not bad.
I would let it leave our garage like this.
So with our Hyundai Elantra sitting here in the garage, it's now time to start working on it as we wait for some of the parts that we ordered for this vehicle. The first step is to remove all the known damaged components, see what we have to adjust, maybe different fender pieces or bracketing on the bottom, see what we can salvage off of this old bumper when we're transferring it to our new bumper that we ordered, and really just getting down to the nitty gritty and seeing if we need to get anything else. So let's remove all the clutter. Just like that. Here is all of the other components that have come off the car that are just beat and battered. Now, with the old bumper cover removed off of this vehicle, I can now start transferring parts from this old bumper cover that is damaged on the side and unrepairable onto our new bumper cover. And on top of that, I can even remove that radiator core support and swap it new. So that way, it's an easy fit when I go to put the bumper back on. But it's kind of getting late. Let's pick this back up in the morning.
The next day.
All right, so up next, I have both of my new parts and old parts lined up. I've got the radiator core supports out, but as you can see, there is a little bit of stuff on this one that came from the salvage car and then or our donor car. And the other one has some stuff that I also need, mainly because they decided to clip off some wires for the other side of the horn. I might have to end up splicing that connector off to this one, so that way our horn can work on both sides, and even stuff like this diagnostic connector, whoops, needs to come off because I already have one. So now it's time to transfer all the parts over that are good on this one to that one. And then the same thing with the bumper cover, which is also new and painted. We'll transfer all that stuff over to this one. I think we might need a fog light bracket, maybe some other small bits to make this one perfect and just as it was before, but let's get started.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go! Hyundai Elantra GT is officially done. HP, how does it feel?
I feel like I'm a body man. Feels great.
Now, all in all, we're pretty fortunate with how this claim ended up shaking out because of the fact that the car had no structural damage and pretty much everything could be replaced relatively easily with accessible parts. Now, in total, it took us about a month to get this car up and running, and normally it would have taken way faster, but the RV, the green Mazda 2, and this black Hyundai Elantra GT were all damaged within about the same week. So that meant that we were backlogged with work before we could actually get to this one. Whenever it comes to the claim and the payout for what Getaround gave us for this damage claim, they ended up paying about $3,500.
And it cost us about $905, including tax, but not including any labor, since I did it myself, to have this vehicle repaired.
Now, normally whenever HP and I make a profit on a damage claim, we walk away feeling pretty happy about the entire situation. But in the case of this Hyundai Elantra, it still is a pretty big bummer because this car was damaged right as it was starting to gain traction on Getaround, and we actually ended up missing out on the entire last month of the host earnings guarantee program.
But we are still happy that this car is completed on the damage side. We still do need to do a very thorough interior cleaning and exterior cleaning, and it will be back on Getaround within the next day or two.
But fingers crossed that this is our last damage claim for a while.
And guys, as always, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and hit that notification bell, and we'll see you in the next episode.